Hi everybody, my name is Sarah Harris and welcome back to my golf fitness conditioning series, and this is part 2. In part 1, I talked about the 4 pillars of fitness and how they can optimize your golf game but also help prevent injury. So we talked about flexibility, we talked about stability, golf-specific movement patterns and exercises, and also maintaining our posture in a static, how we stand, and dynamic way when you are playing the game. I also gave you 2 tests to determine your mobility in your lower body rotation and your upper body rotation. We're going to review those today, and then I'm going to offer you a few releases that you can do only on the restricted sides. So let's get started. What you're going to do is you're going to stand with your feet together, hands on hips. Simply rotate your hips, not just from your shoulders, you want to get it from your hips, and notice your range of motion from here. You're going to come back to center, then you're going to rotate onto the other side and notice your range of motion, and then come back to center. It might take you a few repetitions in order to find which side is tighter, or it might be obvious. Whatever side you go to where it's more restricted is the side we're going to stretch. So for me today, I'm pretty good there. When I go to my right, I feel a little bit of pull. So I'm going to focus on my right hip, okay? The next one you can do is for your upper body. So you're going to sit on the edge of a chair, okay? Feet together. And we're going to place the hands across your chest. Now, ideally, you want your elbows up. If you can't get them up in this position, it could indicate there's some issues going on in your shoulder or neck area. So you might want to see a physical therapist or someone who can, like me, who can do a complete assessment to get you a little bit more liberated in those areas. But what we're going to be talking about right now is more of your rib cage. And your spine. So what I'd like you to do is, as you sit, you're going to gently rotate to the right, notice your range of motion again, come back to center, and then rotate to your left. And I'm finding today I've got a little bit more rotation on my left, but I'm going to try it again. So I'm going to rotate to my right, come back to center, and I rotate to my left. And as I'm going through this, I've done it a few times today too, so I can feel like I'm kind of getting a little freer on that side. But essentially, whatever side you feel tight to is the side that we're going to work. Okay, so for me, it's my left rib cage and my right hip. Well, here we are, and this is going to be a hip mobilization exercise. So when we were rotating, it's usually the glute muscles, not always, but largely it can be the glute complex, which are our bum muscles, essentially. So mine was tight on the right. Now there's 2 types of glute areas that we want to get. So you can just test each one, but basically the first one is to cross your right leg, or your whatever affected side, over onto the other leg, okay? And you're going to sit on the edge of the seat so you're sitting up straight. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to gently notice the range of motion. So if you're really tight, it's going to be up like this. If you're not tight, it's going to be more parallel with the floor. So I'm kind of somewhere in between today. What I'd like you to do is start with your breathing. Think about breathing down a cylinder, okay? And as you're doing that, all you're going to do very quickly is you're going to push down for 5 seconds. We're going to do a contract relax exercise here. So as you're pushing that knee down, you can flex your left foot, sit up straight, and you'll probably feel a stretch in the hip here. After 5 seconds, you're going to take a deep breath in, and you're going to gently push into your hand with not really moving, but you're kind of activating some of the muscles in the hip. And then we're going to hold that for 5 seconds. You're going to take a deep breath in after 5 seconds, and immediately you let go, you want to push yourself into the stretch. There's a very brief window of opportunity where we can kind of trick the muscle into softening, and this is what we want to do. So we're going to hold that for, again, 5 good seconds, long seconds. Then take a deep breath in again, push up into your hand, and then again, exhale, push down. And you can see my knees coming down a little bit further now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, push up into your hand. Not much movement, just a 20% contraction. And then on your next exhale, push down again and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in. Push up, 2, and this whole time you're pushing up, I want you breathing. And then again, when you let go, push it down. Now this time, try and think of a big balloon filling up in your right hip, or whichever hip you're on, and try and kind of feel there's space in that area. Okay, so we're letting go from the inside and the out. One more time, push up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then gently push down, okay? So that's one. If you're not tight going down, what you might find is as you pull that knee towards your opposite shoulder, you might find some tension. And that's way you can actually do it the opposite way, where you're gonna push down again, 5 seconds, and then pull yourself into the stretch. Sit up nice and tall because we wanna make sure the spine is really straight. We're not bending at the spine or side tilting. We're keeping it all very long. You can do 5 contract, 5 relax on this side too, or on this one as well if you find that you're tighter in this. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on releasing any upper body rotation issues. This is called a Feldenkrais shoulder spine integrator, and I got it out of Paul Chek's Hole-in-One Golf Conditioning Manual. So what we're gonna do is you just want something to support your head. Make sure that it doesn't fall off the end either. So you wanna make sure it's right back. If you're using a yoga block, make sure it's right back and your head is resting nicely on it. We're gonna extend the bottom arm out, and you wanna make sure that your ear, shoulder, and hip are all in the same line. From here, we're gonna just take your top hand and you're gonna slide it all the way forward. Now the big thing with Feldenkrais exercises, it's as little muscular tension as you can not do. So you just wanna do less here. We're just getting a rotation. So as I go back, I look back over my shoulders, I don't force it, I just go to sort of an end range there, and then I slide my hand all the way back with my fingers coming over it. Now add the breath. Inhale, and each successive one, as you look over, you're finding that your range of motion might get a little better. So you just want to work it until you feel like you've got a pretty good range of motion. But number one thing, very, very little muscular action here. We are trying to mobilize the joints, and if we start muscling through this, we just compress the joints. Okay? So I hope that helps, guys. Stay tuned for the next vlog, which I'll be talking about stability. And so we'll see you next time.